Greetings, one and all, from the White Mountains of Arizona, and Happy New Year! Tara and I are both wishing you a happy and wonderful and prosperous and abundant and ascended New Year, and wishing ourselves the same. And we wanted to do a channeling today that kind of gave us some insights into the upcoming year. It's going to be a fun one because we don't know who or what or when Tara's going to be channeling. We just set the intention out that we want her to channel, I guess mostly 3D are my questions, but she wanted to know like what this new year has in store for us in terms of the ascension, in terms of new earth, in terms of 3D, all of it. So I don't know who we're going to get. There she is, camouflaged up there. It should be a fun one. The sun is setting. We got those fuzzy fake clouds.
Okay.
All right, who are we connected to today?
It personally doesn't have a name, but it says we are the Ashwan.
Ashwan. All right. What dimensional frequency are they in?
They said they are us in parallel 8.
8 dimensional frequency?
Yes. This is running parallel to this timeline.
Who do they mean by us?
They said they could be considered our future after the end of this earth incarnation, the
They
end
mean,
of this world project.
do they mean humanity as a consciousness?
Yes, they said once what might have been considered the split, once Gaia was back home, and once we all went to where we wanted to go.
Okay, so in our linear 3D minds, you would be from the future.
Yes.
So you would know what happens in the year 2024 because it's happening now.
Yes.
So if everything's happening now, then looking from outside of it, you would see the future from our perspective.
Correct.
Okay, so in your words, what does humanity have to look forward to in 2024?
It may seem negative sounding, but it's the loss of your mind. For many, they may feel that way, but that's the loss of the ego, the split within the self. Many starting over, many more. 2024, split down the middle, wanting to be born again, so to speak. Almost new name, new identity, relearning about the world, and many more quite content with the identity that was formed at the moment of their actual birth in this time.
So what you're describing is 50% of the souls choosing the ego program and 50% of the souls having an awakening and choosing the higher self.
Yes, as has always been the case, but it may seem more prominent in this year for you. It may seem for many as what they hear on the radio or see on your television or in your phone, that the world has become a reality TV show. And in essence, you'd be correct. It's the realization that it always was a show.
So this is kind of an awakening that most people watching this video will have already had years past.
Yes, but even for those who are or would consider themselves awake, would be going through another awakening of sorts. This is the rebirth, the discovering something new. Many, but not all, who have awakened already still maintain their original identity from birth, their original name. Even if they've chosen to physically change their name, they still resonate with the original energy. You may still identify with that original energy. It is like within the vessel having a conscious knowledge of the show, a conscious understanding of your awakening, yet still fully understanding that you still are who you are. But this comes into more of a question, almost as if the planet has lost their mind. Many people might see this as a breakdown of the mental health of society. But it is because humanity is desperately trying to figure itself out. It has realized that what has been projected onto you, the character they told you you were within the show, is not actually who you are. And so many are struggling to understand, who am I really? And they are going through many phases of this, trying to understand. They may think that this is something to do with the outside nature of the self, perhaps changing my hair or my clothes, even changing the name that I was born with would help me to discover who I truly am. And perhaps for humanity, this could aid a little, but it is just a little. It's putting lipstick on a mannequin and wishing to find out its identity. It's understanding that it's just a shell. And you may feel that you have lost it because you don't see the world as you used to. You don't see yourself as you used to, or your friends, anyone around you. But this is a good thing. Allow it to split. Allow yourself to grow. This is 2024.
So this is the same ego transformation that Jesus was talking about when he went into the desert and had to strip away who he was. He had an awakening that was drastic, and he lost his entire sense of self. So you're saying that those who already are awake to the present reality are going to go through that same type of awakening this year?
If you choose it with your free will, you could, as many ascended masters have, to choose to forget fully. Not forget as in wiped from your memory, but consciously deciding, I am not the person I was told I was. I am not the person who sat at that school chair. I am not the person who always does this or always does that. It is the true questioning. Who am I?
And for those who haven't awakened, um, would you say most people will awaken by the end of this year?
Most as in most that were meant to.
Okay. Um, can you tell us about 3D? What we can expect from 3D in 2024? In 2024?
Yes.
Okay. What can we expect from the financial institutions?
Much of what's happening on the inside, you will see reflected on your outside. This is why it is a show. So, if many are rediscovering who they are, asking, "Who am I?" then everything around you would be in that questioning state. The same with your financial institutions, your politics, or anything. It may seem as if a massive earthquake are happening around the world. So many conflicts, so much disagreement, so much worry, so much stress over your material things. But that's because there is a re-identifying of Gaia herself, just as there is a re-identifying for you. So once was for your financial institutions can be no more. They are also rediscovering who they are, what is their purpose. This may not be at a conscious level, but if humanity is questioning themselves, then you question your control system. If money is a control system, then it too will be shaken. Just as much as you are shaken this year, it will be shaken, and thus everything around you.
Okay. I've talked to people who said that our financial institutions are close to ruin. I've heard people say it's better than ever before. Is that just evidence of the two world split?
It's all perspective. Everything is how you wish to see it. If people are wishing for the stability, they will see stability. And perhaps around their world, it is stable. Perhaps they are not going through the questioning of self, so they do not feel the tremors or see the earthquakes around them. For others who feel the shake within the self, the crumbling of the identity, they will see the crumbling of the institutions. So you may ask how this is, but that's because there's multiple realities within one reality. Everybody's reality is different, and they overlap. You can see the same thing, yet you do not. So what one sees is a crumbling of an institution, perhaps a new way for exchange of energy, then that will be a part of their world. For others, they'll see it as the institutions will always be there and they will always be stable. And they want to be continued to be ruled by that system, and they will be happy and content. Just as the other side, going through the tremors, are happy and content that there is change. There might be much fretting of the questioning, but yet they can never go back. So you live in the same world, yet you do not.
Okay. What can we expect from politics in 2024?
For you live in America, your presidential elections might be quite amusing. No longer will you see candidates who've been born for this position. They've trained for this position. They use their knowledge and their wits to out president, so to speak, the other. Instead, you see but souls lost, trying to make sense of themselves. Do not think that politicians are exempt from an awakening. they too will be in the midst of trying to understand themselves. And so it might look quite awkward when they run for the presidency. Someone who doesn't know who they are anymore, trying to tell you exactly who they are and why you should vote for them. This will be one to remember, I guarantee it. As for politics around the world, the same is happening with every leader and everyone who supports those leaders and works for those leaders. Yes, they say politics is corrupt, and perhaps it will maintain that, but also with a sense of not understanding their identity anymore. Perhaps the King of England, still understanding he is the king and he can do whatever he wishes, and his ego may lead him to do what he needs to do, but at the same time, believing that he lives within a dream, and in fact, he would be correct. And so he would be acting as if he were in a dream. And so he might appear quite different or silly to those who support him or look up to him, the people that are under his wing in his country. The same for many of these leaders, trying to desperately figure themselves out using the 3D world to do so. And the 3D world cannot continue to do that anymore.
Thank you. In what way will humanity come closer to the awakening in 2024?
It'll feel like by the end of the year, a solidification, a solidifying for many that this is the path that we wish to continue on. Your two world split, so to speak. Where right now it is undecided which way people want to go. Who are they really? Do I enjoy this ego program? Some are saying yes, but it is still a time of decision. By the end of the year, on this current timeline, there is a making of choice, a big choice, where you would like the rest of your life to go. This is the same energetic choice as asking an 18-year-old in your American high school to decide what they want to do for the rest of their life. Except this time, you have more wisdom. This time, you've dug deeper than what your teachers have told you, and you've looked into your soul. And the decision will be made. And so there will be those who continue on the unidentified route. And for them, their new earth is just around the corner, as it has always been here already, just more able to perceive. For others, the world will maintain as it is now. It'll be like 2023 on repeat for the next 50 years.
Wow, let's hope not. All right, we're running out of time. I want to thank you for spending your time with us, even though there's no such thing. Thank you. We love you. Do you have any last message for the people before we go?
Don't worry so much about time. When New Earth will be here? When is the split? When do we ascend? If you are always looking to a time, then that time will never come, for you are in the energy of waiting, and forever waiting you will be. Come to realize that your ascension is now. New Earth is now. Live in that now. Understand your identity as such.
Got some colors in the sky over there.
Yeah, pretty.
You remember that one?
Most of it, yeah.
There's a lot going on there. I gotta watch it first.
Yeah, I will have to watch it back, but I think I remembered the bigger chunks.
Okay.
Well, that was a fun energy. It was kind of interesting because that energy almost felt like it was me.
Oh.
But I was green. It was like this flowy, like green thing. I was like, cool. Yeah.
I guess if all is one, then everything is you at
Yeah,
some
everything
level.
is me.
At some level.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess how we experience 2024 is going to be different than how our families do or how our friends do. Everybody's going to experience it differently,
Right.
I suppose. But it sounds like a wild ride. So, I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds fun.
They're speaking as if like they're holding something back. Like, you
Yeah,
guys are in for something crazy.
it felt a little bit like they're like, we'll give you just enough, because it was like this feeling that if you give too much information, too much of our ego comes into play, and like
ruins
we'll
it.
latch onto it, and then like maybe we won't do the things that are for our best and highest good.
Right. Okay, well, we gotta let the people get back to their New Year's celebrations.
Yeah, have a happy New Year's, you guys, and hey, let us know what you thought of this New Year's channeling in the comments below. What do you think about all that? What are your plans for this year, maybe? And yeah, and maybe plans for future channelings, your thoughts on that. So we'd love to hear from you guys. And if you dug this channeling, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you know when we have these channeling videos or live chats or whatever it is that we're doing. So yeah, I guess we'll catch you guys later. Hey, check out the fire in the sky. That's awesome.
Don't say that out here.
Oh.
This is where it happened.
True. All right. We'll catch you guys later.
Ciao.
Bye.